Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Friday, the 19th of January 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 finished the week higher today, up around 1% to 7,421 points, following a number of weaker sessions earlier this week. A jump on Wall Street, and particularly the big tech stocks, set the tone for the local market, and some of the local IT companies were among the best performers today. Xero led the way, rising 5%, while WiseTech Global was up around 3%. Among the large caps, CSL, Fortescue, Goodman Group, Westpac, Aristocrat Leisure and James Hardie all did well. Woolies, Transurban, Wesfarmers, they are among the underperformers. Best on the day included the Lottery Corporation and Whitehaven Coal. Generally, the coal companies did well. Following Whitehaven's confirmation, it's on track to hit forecast production levels. Some of the energy companies were among the underperformers. Story number 2, nothing like an international agency to spoil the party. The International Monetary Fund has called for more interest rate hikes and cuts in federal and state budgets to reduce inflation over the next couple of years. In a review of the Australian economy, it called for comprehensive tax reform to fix weak labour productivity growth. It says the best outcome would involve relying more on the GST, taking pressure off personal income tax paid by workers, and cracking down on capital gains tax breaks. All sensible suggestions, but political dynamite. So don't expect anything to happen too soon. And it wants the Reserve Bank to push rates higher to make sure inflation is slayed. Most economists don't think interest rates will rise again, though much depends on the CPI figures due out in about 10 days' time. The IMF forecasts the Reserve Bank cash rate to average 4.4% this year, up from its current 4.35%, and then 4% next year. That's not good news. Australia is one of 190 countries that make up the IMF. Its goal is to work towards sustainable growth and prosperity for member countries. Story number 3, it was quite a night on Wall Street, with strong employment figures helping equity markets, even if it means rates might not fall as soon as expected in the world's largest economy. But the tech stocks still stole the show. Apple rebounded from a weak start to the year after its chip supplier, Taiwan Semiconductor, said it expects to return to growth this quarter. The company also supplies chips to Nvidia, and that company hit a record intraday high. Microsoft was also upgraded by analysts, and by the close, the Nasdaq had jumped 1.5%. Story number 4, Rio Tinto CEO Jakub Stausholm has held his first official talks with Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić since a parliamentary election last month, as the mining giant seeks to revive the stalled $3.7 billion Jada lithium project in that country. The pair met at the World Economic Forum in Davos for talks that Mr. Stausholm described as robust. Mr. Vučić said they were difficult. Just suggests there might still be a long road ahead if Rio is to reverse Belgrade's revocation of its Jada mining licenses 2 years ago. The meeting does send a signal that neither side has yet given up on the project. And I quote, "It was a very robust conversation with President Vučić, and we will look to continue the discussion with the Serbian government around Jada," Mr. Stausholm told the Financial Review in Davos. He said there was potential here for a world-class asset that could create other industries and employment in Serbia. And story number 5, Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu overnight rejected US calls to scale back Israel's military offensive in the Gaza Strip or take steps towards the establishment of a Palestinian state after the war, triggering condemnations from the White House. The Prime Minister's defiant comments come as the Arab states are reportedly working on an initiative to secure a ceasefire and the release of hostages in Gaza as part of a broader plan that could offer Israel a normalisation of relations if it agrees to irreversible steps towards the creation of a Palestinian state. A senior Arab official said they hoped to present the plan, which could include the prize of Saudi Arabia formalising ties with Israel within a few weeks in an effort to end the Israel-Hamas war and prevent a wider conflict erupting in the Middle East. That's according to the Financial Times. That's it for the afternoon report for Friday the 19th of January 2024. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. The top 5 business stories you need to know from this week in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.